Good evening and welcome to the news at 10. Iranian and Iraqi central government forces are to hold joint military exercises near their borders. Iran state television reported that the exercises will be part of Tehran's effort to support Baghdad after the Kurdish independence referendum. Meanwhile, Iraqi Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi pressed the case for the central government in Baghdad to receive the income from Kurdistan's oil fields, saying the money would be used to pay Kurdish civil servants. Also weighing in on the situation, Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan said Iraqi Kurdish authorities would pay the price for the independence referendum, which was widely opposed by foreign powers. Iraq's Kurds overwhelmingly backed independence in Monday's referendum, defying neighboring countries, which fear the vote could fuel Kurdish separatism within their own borders and lead to fresh conflict in the region. The Russian Defense Ministry released a series of footage showing Russian aviation hitting various terrorist targets in Syria. The airstrikes targeted a village in rebel-held Idlib province, destroying bases belonging to Nusra Front and Daesh. Syrian and Russian jets have intensified attacks in Idlib in September after rebels launched an offensive against government-held areas in the northwest of the country. The humanitarian situation in Yemen is a catastrophe, and cholera cases there could reach 1 million by the end of the year, warned the International Committee of the Red Cross. Head of the ICRC delegation in Yemen called on the warring sides to allow Sana'a airport to open for commercial flights for aid supplies. He added that there had been 750,000 suspected cases of cholera to date. According to the World Health Organization, it is the worst recorded outbreak of cholera in modern history.
The situation from a humanitarian standpoint is a catastrophe. We have something which is close to 1 million cases of suspected cholera maybe by the end of the year. But this, as I told you, is only possibly an external illustration of something more serious. We could have an outbreak of something else, huh?
Spanish police sealed off schools earmarked as polling stations and occupied the Catalan government's communications hub in efforts to prevent a banned independence referendum. Tens of thousands of Catalans are expected to attempt to vote in a ballot tomorrow that will have no legal status. However, the Catalan government said it would go ahead with no last-minute compromise. In Madrid, thousands protested against the independence vote, angry that it could divide Spain. Catalonia is a wealthy region within Spain that accounts for about 20% of the country's economy and has its own language. Hurricane Maria relief efforts continued in devastated Puerto Rico amid severe conditions and challenges. Ground transportation was hampered by fuel shortages, and streets were blocked within fallen vegetation and utility wires. A senior U.S. general in charge of the relief operations said more troops, medical supplies, and vehicles were on the way to the island, but it will be some time before the U.S. territory is back on its feet. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump, who was spending the weekend at his private golf club in New Jersey, blamed Puerto Ricans for the slow pace of relief. Trump also hurled criticism via Twitter towards the mayor of hurricane-hit San Juan, Carmen Cruz, after her own criticism of Trump's administration and its handling of the crisis. Back here at home, the government decided to raise the prices of gasoline, kerosene and diesel, while keeping the price of gas cylinders unchanged for October. The government's decision, which goes into effect tomorrow, was taken in accordance with the recommendations of the Fuel Pricing Committee. Under the decision, kerosene and diesel will be sold at 52 piastres per litre, up from 49.5. 1 litre of unleaded 90-octane gasoline will be sold at 69 piastres per litre, up from 59, while a litre of unleaded 95-octane gasoline will sell for 91 piastres, up from 76. It's the time of year when possible contender names for the Nobel Peace Prize start circulating. Among this year's favorites are the team of negotiators behind the Iran world powers nuclear deal, which was agreed in 2015, Pope Francis, Syria's White Helmet Rescue Crews, the UN Refugee Agency UNHCR, and its High Commissioner Filippo Grandi. Human rights lawyer Amal Clooney is another possible contender for the Nobel Peace Prize 2017, a reflection of her work with the persecuted Yazidi minority in the Middle East. Also, Chancellor Angela Merkel for her refugee policy. This year's Nobel Peace Prize winners will be announced in Oslo on Friday, October 6th. But the Peace Prize, which is worth $1.1 million, will only be handed over on December 10th. People will soon be able to fly from city to city within minutes, SpaceX CEO and car entrepreneur Elon Musk said. Speaking at the International Astronautical Congress in Australia, Musk said he aimed to start sending people to Mars in 2024, adding that construction of the rocket to do the job will begin in the next 9 months. At almost 106 meters, the vehicle would carry about 100 people. SpaceX says it might also be able to be repurposed for Earth travel, meaning a trip from Los Angeles to New York could take just 25 minutes. In the world of art, Chinese-American artist Yun Ji's Wheels Industrial New York painting broke a new auction record when it sold for over $13 million in Hong Kong. It was the painting's first appearance on the market, having remained in the collection of the artist's family since it was painted 85 years ago. Considered the artist's most significant work, it's commissioned for the reopening show of New York's Museum of Modern Art in 1932, making Yun Ji the first Chinese artist to exhibit at the world-famous institution. In sports, China's Ma Hailong won the Dakar Series China Rally today, narrowly beating fellow countryman Zhang Ming. Ma won the rally in a total time of 22 hours, 9 minutes and 39 seconds, only a minute and 44 seconds ahead of Zhang. The nearest other rivals were more than 2 hours behind in the overall time. And finally, it will be relatively cold tonight with partly cloudy skies and northwesterly moderate winds. As for tomorrow, fair conditions prevail across the kingdom with a high of 24 degrees Celsius in Amman. The Gulf of Aqaba should expect relatively hot conditions with temperatures at 34 degrees, while winds will be northerly moderate and the seas slightly high. With this, we come to the end of tonight's news. I'm Dana Absham. Thanks for watching and have a good night.